Okay, so now to cut the fabric, you fold the fabric in two. You can see now the fabric is folded in two. And you place the pattern. This is the back pattern, and this is the side piece for the front. So I'm going to just cut these two first, because I have to cut this while the fabric is on fold. I have to cut these two while the fabric is on fold. That's why I'm cutting these two first. You can see the seam allowance. Then for the hem, I'll be adding like 1 inch, because this is exactly 17, which is the half length, and we need ½ inch to join the shoulder and ½ inch to join the waist. So I'll be adding 1 inch to the length, to the half length. So I hope you understand that. So don't forget to notch for where your zipper will be. You can see, just cut a notch there. So that will be the center back line. Then for your darts, don't forget to notch the dart point. Also, you can see me, I'm bringing it down to the edge. So I'll just cut small, like have a little cut on the dart, so that I can have something like this here. You can see, so I'll know where I will be sewing in my dart. And this is for the zipper. I'll know where I'll be sewing that one in. So this is for the front. For the back, you can transfer your dart if you want, or you can remeasure the 9 inches. Then you know how to sew it. So when we are sewing it, you actually know how to sew it. So that's that. Then for this part, I will just cut this. Remember, the pattern has sewing allowance already, and don't forget to add to this place 1 inch, like you did for the back. You add 1 inch, and here you add ½ inch for sewing, to join the side piece to the center piece. You add your ½ inch. You can see that my ½ inch is added already. So you have your side piece like this, cut while the fabric is still on fold. So for the other parts, I will just open the fabric is not folded. You can see it's not folded. For that other part, the front, like this. So you can just place these ones like this. So, but don't forget to add 1 inch. Don't forget to add 1 inch to the hem. Sorry, to the waist. Don't forget to add 1 inch to the waist. And then you add ½ inch to the neckline, so as to bring because we are still going to be sewing the collar to it, so you add ½ inch to the neckline. So now I want to show you how to add the allowance. So to the neckline, just add ½ inch. I'm using my chalk because this is the right side of the fabric. I don't want to use the wrong side because I don't want to mix this up. This side is this side. I want it to just remain like that. I don't want to mix it up. So I'll be adding ½ inch to that point. This place I don't need to add anything. Then my 1 inch to this part. I'll be adding 1 inch to this part. Then this part I'll be adding ½ inch, so as to join the other side to it. So that's just that. And I'll be cutting this out now. So this is the front has been cut. So what we will do now is that just give it a notch where you have your button overlap. When you have the button overlap, just give it a notch that you know what you're making. So this one, give it a notch. You can see my notch here. Just follow the line on the paper to give it a notch. So now that you know where you're notching, so definitely it's going to be like this by the end of the day. Can you see now? Is it not forming something familiar to you? And this is actually what the neckline looks like. And this is the side. And this is the other side here. So this is what we have here for the front. So you can see now our paper pattern has been transformed on the fabric like this. I would seriously love to use like a gold button for this, a gold button, like just 3 big buttons like this. So this is what we have here right now. So the upper part has been taken care of, the front and the back. The front and the back. Now, so the next thing we're cutting is the lower part, the skirt part of this, and this actually, that's quite simple. So now I want to cut the lower part of the dress, green dress that we're making. So we said the waist is 38, and we are adding 1 inch for the darts. So the lower part is just like a pencil skirt. Then we had 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance, for the seam allowance, and we are taking our dart at the center. So this is the 7 inches. Just mark it. This way you put your dart. This way you're placing your dart. So half of the waist, and the waist is divided into 4. That is 7. So half of this 7, that's where you put your dart, or you make it 4. So I can align with the upper part. 4, that is your bust span for your dart. So ½ inch by this side, ½ inch by this side for the dart. And the front dart is 5 inches long. So you can just go ahead and do that. So the hip depth is 8 inches. So we place our hip on this line. We say hip is 36. That's divided by 4. We have 9 plus 1.5. So we can just join. Then the length. Remember, the dress length is 43 and the half length is 17. So you move 17 from 43. You can see I'm placing 17 right on the beginning of the paper. That means that from here to here is my half length. So I'm starting the the skirt part of the dress from 17. That's where the half length stops. So, and the length is 43. So I'll just come down to the length 43. I can add 1 inch for the turning allowance, making 44. So I'll just draft like that. So here, because it's kind of a bit pencil, so I'll measure hip divided by 4, that is 9 minus 1, 8. So I'll be measuring 8 here, 8 inches here, and sewing allowance is 1.5. So if you want it pencil, just remove 1 from what you have at the hip. So if you want it more, you can remove 2 instead of 1. If you want it more, you can remove 2 instead of 1. So instead of you having 8 inches, you have 7 inches. Let's remove 2. So 7 inches plus 1.5 sewing allowance. So you'll be marking at this point instead of this point. You're marking at this point. So we connect this together. You can see now that it's tapered. It's now very pencil like. So this is it like that. This is it like that. So I'll be cutting this up now. So now it's been cut out, and I've placed the fabric on fold. The fabric is on fold, and I'm placing this on it. There's something at the front. If you look at the dress very well, it doesn't have a dart. So what you will do is that this dart point, the dart part, you just fold the dart part in. The front does not have a dart at all. Most times the front is flat, doesn't have. So just your dart, just fold it like this. So you place the pattern very well, fold in the dart points like this, then you cut. So it doesn't have a dart. You can see what I'm doing. This is the dart, like as if you are sewing the dart. If you like, you can sew it on the machine. This dart point, these are our darts. If you like, you can sew it on the machine. You can sew it on the machine. You sew the paper on the machine, or you just find a tape and just hook it like that. So this is what I'm using to cut the down part of the so now I'll just cut it like this. So this is for the front. This is for the front now. Hope you can see very well. So that's the front. Now for the back, we'll be putting the dart at the back because of the bum development at the back. We'll be putting the dart at the back. And this one I think I've not actually finished cutting, so I will need to cut the waistline. So the waist will have a kind of a curved shape here because we remove the darts. So this waist will be a bit curvy because we remove the darts. So that is one. Now we're still going to use the same pattern for the back. So for the back, I'll just measure like 9 inches from the waist. That'll be where my zipper stops. That's all. You can make it 8 inches, depends. Then I'll measure from the M up like 7 inches for my slits, 7 or 8 inches for the slits, 8 inches for the slits, and this place 9 inches from here, 9 inches for the zip. Then from here to this place 8 inches. So now I'll be cutting. This is my zip allowance. My zip allowance stops here, right here, and this is the slits. It stops right here. And the in between, I'll just cut it off. You can see now. Why I cut this place off is that by the time I'm sewing here, this is where I'll be sewing together at the back. So this will be left unsewn, open for the slits. This place will be left open for the zipper. So why I didn't cut this place? Why I cut out this place? So that it will not be bulky when I sew it. It will not be bulky. So I've cut it off. So that's the back. So that's how to make the. So we finished the cutting for the dress. So now we'll cut our lining the same way we cut all the fabric. We cut the lining same way as we cut the fabric. Then we start to assemble it, to couple it together. We'll still cut the sleeve and the collar. So all right, we want to join the pieces together. Let's start from the front. So I'll join this together with the side piece. So this is the side piece for this, and then the lining. So to do that, I will just flip it over, and I will sew from the bottom. So I will just follow the curve. You know, this is the curve part. So I will just sew this one and follow the curve. I know we have plenty beginners here that they've not actually made the pressing curve before. Just follow the curve. So I've done that. The next thing is for me to just iron press this place open. I have a little excess here. You can just trim that place off if you have any excess, so that the armhole can be perfect. That is one. So I'm going to just do the second part like that. So this is the second part. So I've done the second part, and the next thing is that at the curve here, you can cut through the seam allowance at the curve. You can relax before you actually iron. And you have little excess here, you can just cut it off. So this is that. Now I will join the lining also. So right now I'm sewing the lining. So the front is done. So this is the back. Remember the notch, our notch for that. That's where you're going to be picking, say, folding. That notch for that we made, remember it. So that's exactly where you'll be sewing. You take your dart from that side, and your dart is meant to be 9 inches long from the shoulder. Sorry, you measure from the shoulder 9 inches. That's where your dart stops. From shoulder 9 inches. So my dart stops here. I've done this, then I'll do for the lining. I will sew the darts on the lining, then and I will just go to the ironing table and iron press everything. So We're back from the ironing table and everything has been ironed out. So the next thing we will do is that we will join the shoulder together, the front and the back. So this is the front, the back. So we join the shoulder together with the front and the back. So I want us to sort the upper part of the dress first. So join the shoulders together. The shoulder together. So now the shoulders have been joined together. I will do the same thing to the lining. So this is the shoulder. We'll do the same thing to the lining. Yeah, this is what we have here right now. This is the front, this is the back, and the front is that will overlap, and then the back we have the zipper allowance and all that. So the next thing is to join the side. So the sides together. You can watch out for the notch that you made on the side seam. So just join the side seam together. So the side seam together. We'll do likewise to the lining, the side seam together. I hope you understand. Put the side seam together. I'm not adding any interface. I didn't add any interface because the material is thick enough. So we have the side seams together. In the center back, so this is the center back, and this is the center back. So put the center back on themselves. So this is the center back. Then you look at the notch. That's the notch for your zipper allowance. You're going to sew it down, like 2 inches down, 2 inches. So when you get to that, you can just go so 2 inches from the edge. So the rest will be left for the zip. So you sew 2 inches. So now we have a complete something like this here. So now we have something like this now, the neckline. The shoulder has been joined together, and we have something like this on the neckline now. So we'll use this one to cut our collar. We'll do likewise to the lining. So the next thing we will do is we'll measure for the collar. So we have the shoulder joined together, the back, center back joined together. So we have the neckline like this. This is where the collar will be, and you can see the notch. That's actually where the collar will be stopping. Or we can even take the collar tip to the edge here. So we'll measure now with our tape measure. So for the collar, I will measure from one tip to the other to get the width of my collar. So here I have 21. You can straighten it up, but don't stretch it too much. So we have 21.5 as our collar length. That's the length of the collar. That's 21.5. Then if you notice, the collar covers the whole of the shoulder. It covers the whole of the shoulder, as in when it was turned, it covered the whole of the shoulder. So we measure that. So that means our collar, this is 5, the shoulder length line is 5 inches. You can make our collar to be 5.5 so that it can just fold over to the sleeve. You will know that, or we can even make it 6, the width around here to be 6. But here, at this point, there is a way we will shape it, but the width will be 6 so that it can fold over the shoulder very well. So right now we want to make the collar pattern. You can see this is the center back. This is the center back where I joined the center back together, and this is the back neckline. So I will just draw my curve. This is the back neckline, this way it stops, and this is the front to this tip here. You can see just forming like this. So just trace the neck line. You can see the way this is the shoulder seam. This is the shoulder seam. You can see the way I just folded it over, so that the collar can actually curve. You understand? Yeah. Just fold it over a bit, tiny at the edge here. Just hold it together. I hope you're getting it. That will not be just outrightly flat like that. You can see the collar that was on that is not actually flat. It's not just flat like that. So this is my joining for the shoulder. Just hold it a bit to the side as if you want to pleat it. You understand? As if you want to pleat it. Then draw your neckline. You can see I'm having a bit of a reduction here. So that you can actually fold this over. You can see this is the tip, this is the shoulder tip where I will join the sleeve. Just fold it over like that. You can hold like 1 inch and hold this to one side. It can be this side, can be this side. Just hold it. Then this one here. So I've already drawn the curve like that. Then you can remove this. So this is where the back and the front meet. That's the shoulder line. So that's actually where we have most of the collar. So I'll be using 6 inches, like I said. I'll make it 6 inches so that I can flip over. So 6 inches. I think my paper is not okay. So just measure 6 inches like that. So let me do 5. So 5 inches. 5 inches should be able to go around. So when I want to cut on fabric, I'll just add to it. Then 5 inches. But at the front, you can just do 5 inches all through. Then we'll shape the front later. So this is what we have. So should in case your collar is something that will just come straight down at the front, this is what you will get. But this one is shaped. this collar is shaped. If you see it if you check it very well, it's shaped somewhat like this. So this is our collar here. So I'm going to cut this off now. So this is the collar pattern. So this is the collar pattern. So this is, you just make sure that you notch that point where it meets, where the front and the back meet at the shoulder. Notch it so that by the time you are placing your collar, you will know that that part, this is the part I'm talking about. So you know that it stays on that part like this, and this one. So this is what the collar will look like. You can see while we have we should have 6 inches there, because we are still going to sew the under collar and the upper collar together with ½ inch. We are still going to join with ½ inch at the neckline here, so that we'll have our 5 inches collar that will just flip over the shoulder like that. So this is my collar pattern. Is this pattern I will now use to cut the fabric. I want to cut the collar and the pieces left. You can see I'm folding the fabric on bias. This is how to fold on bias, as you fold diagonally. That's how to fold on bias. So that's the way we'll be cutting our. Then this place will be placed on fold. This is placed on fold. So my chalk, I can just add the 1 inch, or I can add ½ inch here, ½ inch here. You can use your pin to hold this. So this is my collar. I'm doing it on fold. So I'll cut. So now this is what I have. So that is the collar we will be using. By the time you join it to the, you can see, you have your fold. So that is the collar. So I'll be cutting another one like this for the under collar. So this is the collar, then the under collar will come. The under collar is the one you will use to turn it, or to like lining anyway. So we call it the under collar. So I'll just cut that one from the remaining pieces. Also know that you're cutting it in bias. So this is the under collar, and this is the collar. So what I will do now is that I'll be using a very light interfacing to interface. So this is the sticky part of the interfacing. I will just place my collar on the sticky part and cut. So I'm going to be cutting this for both the collar and the under collar. So I put the wrong side of the collar on the sticky part of the interfacing, and I will cut. After cutting, I will just I will iron it on. So this is the collar collar and the other collar, it has been interfaced. So the next thing we'll do, don't forget our notch, please. Let's forget our notch. So this is actually the notch to show where the front and the back meet at the shoulder line. Just slide through that point and do the same to this. So now the next thing to do now is to sew this together. And just trim the excess that we have off. So we'll go and sew like this, round, just that place. So this is the collar that has been sewn round. So just create little notches around it. Just create your notches around it, or you fold it like this and you cut like a sharp V into the seam line like that. So either you slice through or you cut your V at the curve or the curved part, just to reduce the bulk and to make it to lay very well when you turn it. But when you are doing this, please be very careful so as not to cut through the stitch line. So now I'm going to turn this out now. I'll turn it out. So I can just give it a good pressing with the iron. So we have the collar and the under collar. So I'm gonna go iron this out. You can see now it's forming. I'll give it a good ironing now. So what I'm about to do now is to sew down the collar on the neckline. This is the neckline. So I'll look for that my notch and I'll start sewing from that point. That button overlap. So I'll start sewing the collar from that point. So round. And the neckline. Just try as much as possible to follow the curve of the neckline. So you can see now the button flap, it sorry, the button allowance is still left open. You can just trim excesses you have. So the collar has been sewn round. You can see it's been sewn round like this, and this is there. So the next thing we'll do is that we're gonna be sewing our lining on this. So the lining has been sewn. This is the center back of the lining. So this is the center back. Remember, you will join. I will sew the center back by 2 inches. So I'll go to the table right now to show you how I will lay the lining. So this is it. You can see we still have the zipper part at the back. So this is it.